we got down to the market this morning in downtown Malaga, and I got myself a kilo of mussels. I'll show you some shots of the market. If you've never done mussels before, it's probably the easiest shellfish to start with. I'm not going to cook these until tomorrow, and so I want to make sure that if there's any dead ones in there that I'm not putting them in my fridge, because it'll end up stinking the fridge out. But what you want to do is any mussels that are open, you want to just squeeze them, and if they start moving or closing, they're still alive and you're good to go. Tomorrow I'll be taking that beard thing off. But if they're nice and closed, I'll give these a rinse first. There we go. The closed mussels, I'm going to put in a metal bowl. That'll keep them colder. So those guys aren't moving, and there's no reason to risk it, so they get tossed. So if you want to keep them in the fridge, don't put tap water on them. Just leave them like that. Get 2 paper towels. Tuck them in like that, just to keep the moisture in them, and that will be fine overnight in the fridge, and I'll be making those tomorrow. It's the next day. These guys, we'll see how many of them survived their night in the freezer. Oh, I don't know if you can see him moving. I can see him moving. But you want to double check them. I'm going to pull about 12 of these out for the first recipe I'm doing. That's nice and closed tightly. That's nice and closed tightly. So I'm going to pull out the tight closing ones, about a dozen of them. So then you've got to get rid of these beards. You got this piece right here. You don't want to eat that. That's very, very tough. So sometimes you can just pull it out, and if you can't pull it out, take your knife, do this, put your thumb's on top of the knife, and you simply pull it back towards the point of the shell. Right, here's another one. I'll just show you one more. That one pulled out, but this one's also got a barnacle on it. So I take the back of the knife and go pop that off. So I'll work through all of these, getting rid of that beard. All right, one more rinse, they'll be ready to go. I've got about a centimeter of water boiling in this pot. I got my mussels. We put them in, put the lid on, leave them for about 1.5 minutes, and then I'll check on them. There we go. Those have been there for about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. I just checked them a couple of times. They popped open, so I'm going to get them off the heat, get the lid off, and let them cool down. These have cooled down some, and while they're cooling down, I made this salsa. That's just really finely diced up red pepper with cilantro, the zest of half a lemon, the juice of half a lemon, and some olive oil. You don't need to put salt in because these are usually salty enough. And what we're going to do is remove these guys from their shell, drop them right in that salsa, and then we'll pick them back up. We're going to save half the shells, so when we pick them back up, we'll scoop them into the half shell. And if they're not quite open, that's fine. Just means that that abductor muscle, this thing right here, that holds the clam together, or the mussel together, just stronger in the ones that haven't opened up as far. You'll notice too that some of them are slightly different colors than the others. It doesn't really matter, it's just what they've been eating will change the color of the mussel. So these are just going to get stirred around. Let them sit in there and soak up the juices for about 5 minutes. All right, so this is literally just grab one mussel, get a bunch of the salsa, pile them in, stick them on a plate. That is it. Those can be served. You can stick them in the fridge for a little while if you're having a dinner party or something. This, I think, is my favorite way to do mussels. We'll taste. Excellent.